championship medal of his career, but they're both gold. And as you called it earlier, Finley, that 0.45 of a second advantage could have put paid to every other racer's chances here today. The weather is getting worse, the light is getting a little tougher and trickier, but looking down the start list, probably the next man in the gate is the skier that Eric Gay will be watching closest of all. That's Hannes Reichardt. As for Joseph Furstel, just coming to the end of his performance here right now. He's still got the best to come, I'd say. Furstel, 1:28.22 into 13th position. It is Canada, Norway and Norway in gold, silver and bronze medal positions. Eric Gay, Kjetil Jansrud and Alexander Ormont Kilde hold on to the medals with 16 racers completing the track. Now these are some of the pictures of celebration caught from a camera that the racers cannot see. And a very, very special moment indeed for all of the Canadian coaching staff. Even time for a cigarette on the side of the piste. Oh, what a spectacular race. Jansrud, a little under the weather with sickness, will be clearly disappointed not to add the World Championship title to the Olympic gold that he won in Sochi back in 2014. Last of the top-seeded racers, as we get to bib number 30, is Klemen Kosi from Slovenia. Disappointment for Team Slovenia to this point in the competition, with Boštjan Klina taking a tumble on the upper part of the track. Let's see if Kosi can restore a little Slovenian pride here right now.
Yeah, and Kozi's a phenomenal technical skier, but as we can see, he's a little bit slight, a little bit more slender, and especially on this piste here in St. Moritz, momentum helps. We look at the podium we've just seen, the big boys are standing on the podium when you need that little bit of extra momentum for the flats to give you the benefit.
0.54, 30 seconds into the challenge, is respectable from Kosi. What he lacks in power, he'll look to make up with an accurate race line and a very clean arc of each turning ski.
Yeah, really nice technical turns here, but that's really tight.
He's missed it way off the racing line. 5 meters off on the jump easily. And that is another, well, frustrating error, I would say, particularly for the Slovenian ski race fans. Here's the slow-mo, Finley.
Yeah, but this is the challenge of this piste, giving yourself that big flight. You need to know where you're going, and when there's so many of them, making sure you're in the right place at the right time in your mind is absolutely key for this course.
There is your podium. There are your medalists. It's a clean sweep for the head ski team. Johan Elias and his team will be delighted with the performance of the skis. But for me today, the headlines will be all about the performance of the Canadians.
For you to stand here today.
Yeah, not only in the past years, but I also had a big crash in Garmisch last week. So I'm happy to be healthy, happy to be here, and of course happy to be standing in the leader box.
Sharing the leader box with your teammates, Manny, it's his birthday today. How does that feel?
It's absolutely incredible. I mean, the only thing that can make a victory better is to share it with friends, and you know, with Jansrud and Manny on the podium with me, feels like my birthday.
Just one word on this course here in St. Moritz. You were already on the podium last year in downhill though, but what makes this course so special for you?
Yeah, I've always loved it here. I mean, I raced here in 2003, which is many years ago. That's a testament to my age. But I always like coming here. I love the snow, I love the ambiance, I love the atmosphere, and of course I love the Swiss fans.
Thank you very much.
Well, he signs off with the perfect finishing words there. Eric Gay, he's a pro. He knows exactly how to work with the crowd, and they will be cheering for the Canadian. As the interviewer said, he was third in the downhill World Cup finals here last March. Eric Gay takes gold for Canada. Jansrud the silver, and Manny Osborne Paradis on his 33rd birthday takes the bronze. 2 medals for Team Canada, 1 for Norway. The big favourites, Beat Feuz, will be bitterly disappointed for 12th position, and a tough day for the host nation, Switzerland, but a crackerjack performance from the Canadian speed experts as Eric Gay celebrates with the Super G gold here in St. Moritz. Welcome back to St. Moritz. We're hoping that the fog will lift and clear to allow us to proceed with the men's downhill competition. His race referee, Marcus Waldner from the FIS, checking with all of the jury members in the key areas of this high-speed racetrack that the course is ready to go. We can see the clouds moving very quickly indeed, but right now it looks good to go, and good to go from the top. And the big pre-race favourite here today is of course the Swiss skier Beat Feuz, the fastest racer by some way in the one and only full-length practice run prior to today's race. And here's what the Swiss skier has to say.
So calm, so collected, and when you ski you look like you're very efficient. Is that the secret to your success?
Ja, ich hoffe es, ja. Es ist nicht einfach.
Well, Feuz is telling us that it's by no means an easy racetrack out there. A lot of rollers, a lot of jumps, with some tight turns to take in as well. It's getting icy because we've been training and skiing on the track, and Feuz knows he needs to be focused.
Oh, feeling good. I mean, sickness is still kind of in the body, but for those 2 minutes which we're going, I think should be no problem. And course looks good. After the snowfall yesterday, I think they've done a good job, and everything's ready for a perfect downhill day.
Well, go charge it, get that Viking strength, and have a good one.
Well, Jansrud telling us, like he has throughout the week, that he's still not over quite a serious bout of influenza, but he's getting stronger and more confident, slowly but surely. But there's no question, Beat Feuz, if he can ski the race today like he did in training, he will be the man to beat. Let's go down into the finish area and hear more from Jonathan Edwards and the Olympic and world champion, Tina Maze.
Okay, well, the start's been confirmed for 12:30, but Tina, as we stand here and we look up the hill, it actually looks worse than when the start was delayed in the first place.
Yeah, it's changing so fast. It's a lot of wind, I think so, and the clouds are really moving fast. So we are all a little bit confused what was going to happen, especially the racers on the start. They are almost ready to go. They were already excited to go because it was really sunny before, and now it's already closing down again.
So in terms of the skiers and the different bib numbers, so Jansrud, who was down at 19, for example, presumably he'd still been down at the mountains. There's a disadvantage perhaps for those early bib numbers who are ready to race.
Well, yeah, that's kind of tricky part, how to react on that kind of weather. You never know. You go up and then you...
I'm just getting the sign from the FIS guys saying they're not racing.
Yeah, they cannot do it because it's closing down again, so it's really... Wind is really blowing fast and changing.
So the likes of Matthias Meyer, Alexander Kilde, Carlo Janka, who are, I guess, still up there. Do they stay up there? Do they come down? How do the jury deal with this?
Yeah, going up there to that start, it needs some steps, but I think going back down, it takes a lot of energy to go back and come back. So they don't want to get burned, you know, from the walking and down and up. So warm-up is important, but still you need to calculate that you need to be 100% ready to race.
And as you said earlier, Tina, this is something that ski racers are used to. What was your strategy? How did you cope with this?
Yeah, it's always tricky part. I always like to be really early on the start, have a long warm-up. So for me, it was good to be up there and, you know, just go over the slope many times. I took the time, took my time and focused on the race. Warm up just the right way, not too much, but just before the race I was really warming up. So the timing, you really need to know how much time do you need.
But in terms of the facilities that the racers will have at the top, how would that compare to what's down at the bottom? I mean, will they have coaches up there? Will they have physios, all of these kinds of things? Or are they very much on their own up there?
No, they have a lot of support up there on the start. There are ski men, physios also. They are all the time in connection with coaches, so they know what's going on. Of course, today it's easier to see than to talk with coaches what is going to happen, but I think they have a lot of experience. Everyone has a lot of experience. There are team hospitalities, so you can go there, warm up. Of course, it's getting tight and tight as there are many racers there, so there's not much place to do the warm-up.
Indeed. Well, we're praying for wind here to blow this fog away so we can get underway with the men's downhill. But for the moment, it's back to the commentators.
Many thanks to Jonathan and Tina Maze. They are right in the thick of it in the finish area. But as we follow the cameras up the racetrack, you can see the band of fog that is way too thick. And this is beyond the safety level of high-speed competition. Let's bring in well, we'll get a chat with Finley after the break. My apologies, Finley, there. But as you can clearly see from these pictures, we're going to send these skiers down the racetrack at up to 75, even 80 miles per hour, 130 kilometers per hour. And skiing into a bank of fog like that right now is deemed to be unsafe by Marcus Waldner and his team of jury members that are placed at the key spots of this 1.7-mile track. We'll take a break here in St. Moritz, but as Jonathan said from the finish area, we keep our fingers crossed for a little bit of wind to blow this fog away.
Track records here. Just now he's moving at incredible speed in here. Totally unbelievable. At 40 miles an hour, it's about speed, power, and overtaking. So surprising. Kick off the ground, switch 90. The most excellent. 200 meters high. Will he land it? Oh, absolutely great.
World-class performance. Move brilliantly. Nexen Tire.
I'm in the middle of the starting grid, and I cannot imagine how the racers can focus with all these people. I couldn't, for sure, because at a World Cup race, it was all quiet. But this one here, this is crazy. But I'm so excited about this race. It's going to be great.
Sarah is one of millions of people who have a workplace pension. As an employee, when you pay in, your boss pays in too. Sounds good, right?
Welcome back to St. Moritz. Race delayed due to fog in the mid to upper section of the racetrack. Now we finally get a chance to bring in our race expert and analyst Finley Mickle, British record holder in the 11th position in Bormio back in 2005. Finley, the ski racers are used to this. We've discussed that earlier. But I want to talk about this free-fall section of the racetrack, because that's part of the reason why we do need to have perfect conditions. It is the steepest, it is the fastest opening to any downhill race in the history of our sport. In the practice run, they were going from 0 to 60 in just over 3 seconds. Now, I don't have a fast car at home, but what I do know is that's faster than your average Porsche, and that's the reason why we have to have good visibility to race.
Absolutely. The free fall is a key part in this course. It really makes the top section. It gives all the athletes the speed to carry out across what is a flat section after that, and it then makes the jumps later on in the track a lot bigger and a lot more of a true downhill challenge. So it's a real key part, and we really want to see it starting from the very top of the free fall.
Now, of course, the weather forecasters are telling us that this fog will be blown across the race hill, the Corviglia racetrack as it's known here in St. Moritz, and then blown down the valley. But right now it's sitting right in the middle of the course, and therefore we're on a hold, we're on a race hold. Now, the information that's coming through is that the next decision to be made will be at 1 p.m. Central European time, an hour earlier, of course, if you're watching Eurosport across the United Kingdom, and that will be the next decision time. But stay with us here on Eurosport, because they will do everything they possibly can. Never mind the fact there's about 15,000 spectators packed into the grandstand in the finish area, packed into the VIP and entertainment areas, all hoping to see if Beat Feuz can win the downhill for the host nation here in Switzerland on his 30th birthday. And it really is adding to